At county schools, our mission is to transform lives through education, and we do this in collaboration with school districts, other agencies, our families, our communities, partners, and we provide leadership, advocacy, and services to ensure innovative, inspiring educational practices. And this endeavor is essential to the quality of life and the economic vitality of our communities. During these changing times, it will take bold and active leadership, strong advocacy, and innovative and responsive services to shape policy that will improve the lives of our students and families. I'm excited about the county-wide vision project adopted by our San Bernardino County Board of Supervisors, along with the leadership of Greg Devereaux. It provides direction to a more prosperous San Bernardino. 10 element groups have been formed to support the vision statement. I am thrilled to serve as co-chair of the Education Element Group, along with my colleague, Dr. Tomas Morales, our new president of Cal State San Bernardino University, San Bernardino. Thank you. We, along with other group members, want to create broad-based support for a county-wide goal where all sectors of the community partner to support the success of every student from cradle to career. I have been planting the seeds and growing support from other element groups, and I am pleased with the great response we are receiving. Education lays a foundation for the fundamental future success of our county and region. Change on such a large scale requires cross-sector coordination, and so we are building on a collective impact model. Collective impact is a commitment of a group of leaders from different sectors to a common agenda for solving specific societal problems. Our county has been on the cutting edge of developing forward-thinking collective approaches and broad-range solutions. We took this approach at county schools with the development of our strategic plan, with a range of community stakeholders coming together to work with us. We began with 8 strategic initiatives during our first year of implementation. This includes developing clear priorities for public education, supporting districts as they prepare for Common Core state standards, and increasing high school graduation. Also, we are taking a coordinated approach to family and community programs to ensure their reach and comprehensiveness. Internally, we are conducting audits in technology and in communication to improve efficiency of use and delivery. Finally, we are creating top-of-the-mind branding around our new mission to better communicate what we strive to accomplish, including a redesign of our website. As we think about the challenges in education today, the recent changes being proposed in school finance will take center stage. We are committed to our leadership role when it comes to stewardship of resources on behalf of public education. Those of us in education are grateful to the voters for the passage of Proposition 30. The proposition will begin to pay back tens of billions of dollars of deferred payments over a 6-year period. Governor Brown's budget proposal to reduce the amount of deferrals to public schools down to $5.6 billion by the end of 2013-14 and completely eliminate the amount owed by 2016-17. Deferred payments force districts to borrow funding to maintain positive cash flow. However, this will only fix one piece of the equation. California tumbled 2 more spots to 49th in the nation in per-pupil spending, according to Education Week's latest annual Quality Counts report. I appreciate Governor Brown's efforts to cut through California's outdated and overly complex state-driven school finance system. The governor's introduced a new term, subsidiarity. As described by the governor, is the idea that a central authority should only perform those tasks which cannot be performed at a more immediate or local level. Moreover, the governor's funding formula recognizes the fact that children in poverty, or those speaking a language different than English, or living in a foster home, requires more support. The governor's funding proposal is titled the Local Control Funding Formula, and under the LCFF, more than 250 current sections of education code are repealed, along with 42 categorical programs and reporting requirements. This formula establishes a base with supplemental and concentration add-ons for English language learners, students in poverty, and foster youth students. Different from last year's proposal is the promise of a hold harmless funding provision. It is important to realize that the LCFF is an equity model, not an adequacy model. For county schools, the model recognizes the critical needs of at-risk student populations and oversight responsibilities. This is due in a large part to the work of our statewide County Schools Business Administrative Steering Committee, we call BASC, and the chair of that group is our own Assistant Superintendent of Business Services, Mr. Ted Alejandre. Thank you, Ted, for all your efforts. The proposal will also bring equity to county office funding, and SBCSS will no longer be the lowest funded in the state. I'm very excited about that. Now, I remain hopeful that the tables have turned and we are seeing the beginning of a reinvestment in public education in California. On a national level, all eyes are on the Congress to reach a solution on across-the-board sequestration cuts which will impact schools and students directly. In San Bernardino County, roughly $33 million in reductions will be seen for programs such as Title I, which provides support to disadvantaged students, special education, career technical education, and English language learner support. Head Start and Early Start services will be eliminated for approximately 8,200 children, reducing access to critical early education. And just when we were able to find some steady ground after years of statewide budget cuts and cash deferrals, districts and families are now being faced with these challenges. We are very concerned of the trickling effect this will have to provide our students with fundamental skills necessary for future success and for the full economic recovery of our state. Preparing students with higher education and workforce skills necessary for college and careers of the future has been the work of our County Schools Alliance for Education for over a decade now. Don Antonio Lugo High School in Chino Valley Unified is one of 5 county school districts that will work with the County Schools Office and the Regional Link Learning Alliance. Don Lugo already has a strong partnership academy that has sparked the imagination and provided motivation to students to pursue science, technology, engineering, and math post-secondary educations. I would like for you to meet Andrew Reyes, a junior at Don Lugo, who will talk about the impact his STEM classes have made on his education and achievement in the classroom.
Education opens doors for you and shows you what you really are interested in doing in the future and makes you want to strive for it. It made me want to do better in school and showed me what I needed to do better and made me think about what I want to do in the future and how these classes will help me get there and further progress me to doing what I really like to do. All the teachers and lead that I've been with since freshman year, they all push me to do better in my classes and in overall school. And they all want to put me in harder classes because they really want me to do better in life and have a better future for me. It made me think about maybe being a different kind of engineer and just learning about all the engineering stuff, and it's just really nice to have all their support.
Nice job, Andrew. Through LEAD at Don Lugo, Andrew has forged a path that is leading him to a college program in engineering. It is these types of opportunities where our county has become a recognized state leader in linked learning. In a recent Forbes.com report, the Inland Empire was ranked the second fastest growing region in the country for high-tech jobs. This is why programs that support STEM are becoming so incredibly important to our students. The consortium between the San Bernardino County Schools and 5 county districts is among 20 educational agencies statewide to take part in a linked learning pilot program to increase college readiness. County Schools Alliance for Education has partnered with 5 county districts to implement the regional grant. They are Chino Valley, Colton Joint, San Bernardino City, Upland, and Yucaipa-Calamasa Joint Unified. Through the linked learning approach, students are expected to achieve at high levels in mathematics, science, English, social studies, and foreign language. Students master these subjects through the power of applying knowledge in real-world context. They learn by being presented with authentic problems and situations that are part of the modern workplace. The Alliance calls this relevance, and so do I. The STEM Partnership Academy, as highlighted at Don Lugo High, is an example of a linked learning approach. Research shows that schools that have already adopted linked learning, students' attendance rates are increasing, dropout rates are decreasing. Students are graduating from high school at higher rates and enrolling in colleges and universities in larger numbers. Preparing students for high school graduation, post-secondary options, and the workforce is one of the 5 strategies County Schools' strategic plan is focusing on, where we are directing our work and our resources. Now, our region has had a long-term concern regarding improving our high school graduation rates and decreasing our dropout rates. In a study recently released in January by the U.S. Department of Education, based on data completed during the 2010 school year, high school graduation rates nationally are at the highest since 1976. California had the honor of producing the highest number of graduates, but also showing the most dropouts. The gap between the demand of California's economy and the supply of college-educated workers represents a serious hurdle to the economic viability and the future of our state as a whole, and particularly our Inland Empire region. The good news is that by working across the county with school districts on research-based practices to reduce dropout and improve graduation rates, we are seeing positive results. We now have 2 years of reported dropout and graduation data with student identifiers. San Bernardino County dropout rate registered at 15.3% and its graduation rate at 74% for 2010-11. 4 years ago, when we received the first set of data, the dropout numbers were abysmal for our county at 26.3%. We are showing improvement, but we have a lot more to do in this area. One of the research-based practices is the early warning and intervention system. The early warning intervention system uses key research-based indicators such as attendance, course grades, and behavior to identify students at risk of dropping out of school or failing to graduate on time. The early warning system supports students with both school-wide strategies and targeted interventions. Middle schools and high schools in Upland Unified and the Victory Valley Union High School District are participating in the pilot project. Districts and schools in the pilot also use their early warning system data to examine school-level patterns in the current school year and over time in order to address systemic issues that may be impeding a student's ability to graduate. We also must address obstacles between high school and a student's access to a college education. Statewide, over 500,000 students have enrolled in our community college system, yet first-time students are unable to get a class in some cases for more than a year. Tuition hikes have stretched the financial resources of our Cal State and UC students, and in many cases, the very set of skills we prepare our students for to graduate from high school are not the same skills required for college entrance examinations. Now, I am a great believer in the early assessment program, and you've heard me talk about this before, but I am convinced that a common college entrance exam across the state's post-secondary institutions would improve college access and eliminate much of the need for remediation. More students taking and passing the EAP lessens the burden on our colleges to provide remediation upon college entry and opens up the doors for more transferable coursework. We must remove obstacles and create opportunities to improve college access, or else we undermine the aspirations of our young people. We are in an era in school safety that is defined by the horrific realities of active shootings. In our county, we have been fortunate to avoid the tragedies that have befallen Sandy Hook, Virginia Tech, and Columbine. Fostering strong collaborative relationships with law enforcement, justice, social service agencies, faith-based organizations, safety training remains a priority for schools and districts, students and staff. In February, our county schools risk management office organized an event with the county sheriff's office to train for active shooters. And I want to thank John, if he's here, for your help on that. Thank you very much. And just as we drill for catastrophic events like earthquakes and fires, planning and procedures need to continue to be refined and focused on providing the safest possible environments for all of our county schools. The unfortunate fact is that prevention and preparedness has evolved from fire and earthquake drills to active shooter and lockdown drills. My office has also pledged to work with the district attorney. I think Mike is here, and I want to thank you, Mike, for being here and all that you're doing for our county. To tackle challenging issues that threaten the safety and well-being of our children. One of these challenging issues is human trafficking. From an educational perspective, we will work with districts to incorporate information about human trafficking into the mandated reporting training that districts are required to provide to staff annually. Just as school employees are mandated reporters for other forms of child abuse, they will be trained to spot the warning signs for human trafficking for proper reporting to Children and Family Services. Just as we have tackled other societal issues that touch our schools, from gangs and drugs to truancy, I pledge that our county schools office will continue to work with the district attorney's office and our other educational partners to combat this horrible crime and keep our young people safe. Maintaining safety in times of uncertainty demonstrates the need and the powerful importance of this ongoing collective work. Another good example of collaboration is taking place in Fontana. Among the Fontana Unified School District, the Fontana School Police, City of Fontana, and the Fontana Police Department. For the past 3 years, 135 students have graduated in 5 classes from the Fontana Leadership Intervention Program, or FLIP. The mission of FLIP is to bring about life-altering and lasting positive change through a referral program. Students enrolled attend 16 8-hour classes on Saturdays and focus on topics like violence prevention, drug and alcohol resistance, ethics, and leadership development. Close to 95% of the graduates of this program have returned to their schools with no further referrals. Next, you will have the opportunity to meet Michelle Garcia, a graduate of the December 2012 program. Michelle was the student speaker for her class of 22 graduates and is a junior who attends A.B. Miller High School.
At Flip, they're really focused a lot on you and how you're doing in school, and in school they teach you about how your future will be if you continue your education. You would always have to turn in grade checks, so they would always be checking up on us how we're doing at school. And with them looking over it, it makes you want to do good and get good grades to make them proud, to show that they're actually making a difference in your life. How it's really going to make you a better person if what you do in your future is going to be able to help others. It's a really good program, and it really made a huge difference in my life, because I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for them and the officers really caring about you.
Reaching out to our students to give them a personal connection that makes a difference, not only in their education, but also in their lives. And this is one of the outcomes of FLIP. In the Desert Mountain region, another course of action is taking place that is yielding great results. The Positive Behavior Intervention System, PBIS, is creating a supportive culture in schools that takes into account parent-family support, mental health services, and positive behavior support. This has been part of a groundbreaking effort through the work of the Desert Mountain Special Education Local Plan Area. Working with 53 schools and anticipating another 30 coming on board this year, schools have used the PBIS for the past 4 years. The data-driven framework of PBIS targets reducing suspensions, expulsion, and behavioral referrals while promoting positive environments that increase academic achievement. Serrano High School in Snowline Joint Unified is in its 3rd year of implementing PBIS and reporting remarkable results. The school has seen its behavior referrals drop from 1,675 during the 2010-11 academic year to just 668 during a similar period so far this school year. That's a reduction of more than 60%. That deserves some applause. Congratulations. I think Eric Johnstone, Superintendent, and some of his board members are here today. Congratulations to you. The following is a video clip of one of their students from Serrano, freshman Doug Herring, who talks about how developing positive relationships with a teacher had a big impact on his early academic success and headed off the dangers of him becoming a student who falls through the cracks during his transition into high school.
Education means a lot to me. I want to go to college. I want to succeed in life. In the beginning of the year, it was like a roller coaster. I was going down with my grades, and then my teacher, she was my geography teacher, Miss Anderson, she pulled me aside and she said, "Hey, are you up for me talking about your grades? Calling you every single week, just reviewing what you've done." And it does help me out that she calls me aside and tells me what I'm doing and what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right, what can help me. Stay away from the wrong crowd, go, do your work, study for tests, stay on the straight path.
Good for you, Doug. While our schools were never designed for these kinds of safety issues, these days that we're dealing with, each and every day, thousands of parents hug their children and send them to school, entrusting us to keep them safe. It's a huge responsibility that we take very seriously. We must do everything in our power to ensure our students the education they deserve in the safest possible conditions. We advocate for students in a number of ways. And one is to ensure that students who face obstacles beyond their control receive the support they need to achieve their future success. I would like to highlight just a few of them today. Many are surprised to find out that we have thousands of children countywide living in foster homes, group homes, or with relatives. At county schools, our foster youth service program reaches out to these children to develop and empower them and their caregivers. During the 2011-12 academic year, our foster youth service team served 1,805 children. One of those who received services was Nick Dodson, who now is a student at San Bernardino Valley College. Through a partnership with the University of Redlands, the Student Success Partnership, Nick received individual attention to guide him and support him in his pursuit of post-secondary education. Since Nick still lives in a group home, we could not show his face, but I think from the images and the words that Nick provides us in the following video, you can see a clear picture of how vital foster youth services can be for students' academic achievement.
It's hard for foster youth to get an education or go to school. There's like a lot of mind-blowing statistics out there for foster youth. 1% of so many people out there that are foster youth attain a BA, and I would say it made me value and respect the people that are foster youth who do have a degree and that are furthering their education. Many people have different meanings or definition of education, but education for me is basically knowledge and success. And I say knowledge because education, you should get knowledge from education, and with a good education brings success to many people. I would say like it opens more doors and has more opportunities for life composed if you didn't have an education.
While Nick benefited from Student Success Partnership at the University of Redlands to reach its goals, nearly all of our unified and high school districts in the county are involved in a program that practically guarantees high school education, as well as opportunities for post-secondary educations. Of course, this program is AVID. In July 2012, days after signing of the 2012-13 Budget Act, my office received the devastating news that funding for one of the most successful college-going programs in our region, Advancement via Individual Determination, or AVID, had been completely eliminated from the state budget. The Riverside, Inyo, Mono, and San Bernardino County region has a tremendous legacy with the program. It is among the strongest in the nation, with 44,000 AVID students at 217 schools. Last year, we had 4,342 graduates, with 86% of them having at least one letter of acceptance to a four-year college. More than 99% of AVID students graduate from high school. Simply put, AVID works. Because of the vital necessity of this work and what it means to our students, we have pledged financial resources to allow AVID's work to continue throughout this region. It's worth noting that we are one of only 2 regions in the state able to sustain a regional AVID program. A program with such a high success rate deserves appropriate and adequate support to continue its mission. And with the motivation of someday going to college, Kim Garcia of San Gorgonio High School in the San Bernardino City Unified School District, and I know Dr. Marsden is here and some board members from city schools, so thank you for your support of AVID. She wanted to make sure she had the right vehicle to propel her to reach her goals. Turning to AVID, Kim found the courses that would take her through her middle school and high school years on the path to graduation and then to attend a 4-year college or university. As a senior now at San Gorgonio, Kim is one of about 60 seniors at her school in AVID. Countywide, more than 1,700 seniors at 35 county high schools are preparing to graduate this spring. For Kim, she is looking forward to studying neurology at the University of California, Santa Cruz. In the upcoming video, Kim talks about her AVID course and what they made possible for her to be prepared and ready to go to college once she graduates from San Gorgonio High School.
experience I've had with David would be, I've been taking this class, this class for about 5 years. It's made me a more progressive and like active student with like all of my other classes. So, and it also like gives me time to prepare for like what's to come for college. The attitudes that I've like had with this program have always been really positive and motivating. Being an Avid, it's taught me that like, you know, wanting to go to college or wanting to like be successful in life, like it has built onto my character. What I get out of that class, I don't get it from any other class.
Congratulations, Kim. Part of our role as advocate is to be a spokesperson on behalf of the 414,000 public school students in San Bernardino County. And I am extremely proud of the outstanding work that takes place in our schools each and every day by inspiring and hardworking educators who care deeply about students. We had 17 elementary schools were named Distinguished School this year for 2012. They were among 387 California public elementary schools to receive the distinction. The efforts of these outstanding schools to boost academic achievement for their students is to be commended. The distinguished schools are noted on the screen. Let's give them a big round of applause. Two high-performing middle schools in the county were among 12 middle schools identified statewide as schools to watch by the California Department of Education in January. Selected schools demonstrate academic excellence as well as developmental responsiveness to the needs and interests of their students, social equity, and organizational support. Let's congratulate Summit Intermediate in the Etiwanda School District and Vanguard Prep in the Apple Valley Unified School District. They are the first two schools in San Bernardino County to receive this distinction. Congratulations. Although there are changes ahead for both state and federal accountability systems, under the current Academic Performance Index, the state's measurement for academic achievement, San Bernardino County schools showed continued growth, improving 10 points to reach a record high growth score of 767 for 2012. Additionally, a record number of schools from San Bernardino County reached the state standard of 800 this year. For the first time, half of our elementary schools in the county have reached the state benchmark, and there are now 31 schools in the county that have reached 900 on API growth, 2 more than a year ago. Let's give a round of applause for the new 900 schools as displayed. Our own county school services operated programs experienced the highest growth among all lead education agencies in the county with a gain of 55 points. And I want to give a big round of applause to our administrators, teachers, staff, and students for their exceptional achievement. Congratulations. When we speak of service, of utmost importance is the direct support to students in county-operated alternative education, special education, and state preschool programs provided by the county schools office. We serve the most medically fragile, physically handicapped, and learning disabled students, the most vulnerable, at-risk students, students expelled from the regular education, incarcerated students, and the neediest and most underserved preschool-age children in a cost-effective and efficient manner. We offer some of the most revolutionary programs to serve special needs students, and our alternative education and juvenile court school programs serve as statewide models. In the West End region, annual enrollments total about 160 students, for accounting purposes, but nearly 3 times that amount actually are served on 3 different campuses. That's because fewer than 20% of our students in this region are enrolled for longer than 90 days. In the next video segment, you are going to re-meet Cesar Avila, a junior who attends the David Stein Chaffee West County Community Day School. Cesar acknowledges that he wasn't a very motivated or high-performing student prior to being enrolled at Stein Chaffee West. But the individual attention he received at his school, as well as the forging strong working relationships with his teachers and staff, has helped Cesar develop the skills he has needed to turn himself into a strong academic achieving student.
Education is key. You got to start from somewhere, and that's where you start. You work your way up step by step. Jobs look at how you did in school. And if they see that you were always truant or you just didn't do what was told to you, then they're most likely not going to hire you because they think you're going to slow them down. Anything that you lack in school, you're pretty much going to lack out in the workforce. So to me, school is vital. It's important to communicate with your teacher. That way they can see where you're messing up at, and that way they can help you understand better. If you just sit there trying to figure out stuff on your own, you're just going to confuse yourself. A question that always held me back was, why do I have to do this? What am I going to use all this information for? But it's not that you're going to use everything that you learn. It's just that you're eventually going to use some of the stuff, and what they're teaching you is basics. This is just stuff to help you guide yourself, and then once you go like into college or something, that's where the real learning begins.
Nice work, Cesar, and thank you for leading our exercises here earlier today. Supporting the work of our schools and school districts' efforts to serve our student populations as vanguards helping to advance public education, our education support services staff is on the forefront of delivering responsive and innovative service in strengthening the skills and capacity of other educational professionals. Seemingly, a main emphasis of that work is to support districts' efforts to implement the Common Core state standards from various vantage points: standards, educational technology, English language learner support, accountability and assessment, and parent involvement. The Common Core standards are designed to prepare students with the knowledge and skills needed for success in college and the workforce. In addition, they will provide clear and consistent educational framework that is internationally benchmarks to ensure our students will be globally competitive. We couldn't end our student videos on a higher note. Many of you are aware of the countywide student activities our office coordinates. Offering this service has been a long-standing tradition of our county superintendent's office, and we take immense pleasure and great pride in seeing district students compete and excel in academic and artistic competitions. The mock trial, the academic decathlon, science fair, and history day. We have had both state and national individual and team winners for all of these events from San Bernardino County districts. The All-County Orchestra and Honor Band program happened to be one of my favorites. Annually, more than 1,000 students compete across the county and are recommended to audition for elementary, middle, and high school honor band and orchestras. Selected students play in regional as well as countywide groups. Each year when the event comes up on the calendars, Bev and I put on our concert best and we enjoy a little date night. The caliber of the music talent of our students is phenomenal. Of course, this program could not take place without the tremendous support of the San Bernardino County Music Educators Association, which consists of music teachers from throughout the county, and music consultant Dr. Carl Schaefer. Dr. Schaefer has been at this a lot of years, and he was recently inducted into the Music Hall of Fame. Let's thank these extraordinary teachers and Dr. Schaefer for their efforts to make this program come about. Research shows that involvement in the arts and music is associated with gains in reading, math, cognitive and critical thinking skills. It also has been shown that schools with strong arts programs close the gaps that have left many other children behind. Amanda Williams, a student at Redlands East Valley High School in the Redlands Unified School District, knows the prestige of being selected to perform with the Honor Orchestra. As a freshman bass player at Rev, Amanda says music isn't just a class or an extracurricular activity for her. Music is a part of the composition of her life and has been since she was a toddler. In the following video, Amanda talks about the impact music has made on her education and how it will play in her future academic pursuits.
Overall, I view education as very, very important, just because it's something you have to have no matter what you want to do. Music, it just flows right into it. I grew up just all around music. It's just grown with me. In 4th grade, I played the violin, and I never put it down. And then 7th grade, I switched to the bass, and I just loved it. I go to my first, my second, and my third period class, and then I come to orchestra 4th period, and it just makes my entire day. I thought it was very rewarding. The practices, they were long, but it was very good. I really, really enjoyed it. Education and my music, that's just what I really like. My whole world revolves around it.
I would like to take a moment and acknowledge the students that were highlighted in our videos today. So students present and your support network, parents, counselors, I know some of the FLIP officers are here as well today. If you would all please stand and let us recognize you. You inspire us with your stories, and we are so proud of your accomplishments. And these fine students they are 7 of the 414,000 public school students in San Bernardino County, and they represent a microcosm of the diverse population we serve. It shouldn't matter if a student is on a path towards one of the most prestigious colleges in the nation, or planning to attend a local community college, or training for a technical career. It makes no difference if a student excels at sports or music, speaks a second language, has a learning disability, or achieves better in an alternative high school setting. The American promise of opportunity should be real for every child that walks through the schoolhouse doors. We are aiming high and see it as our moral obligation to work across boundaries to support the success of every child, cradle to career. At county schools, we see it as our purpose to lead, to advocate, and to serve on behalf of every student, and that is our highest priority. We believe that through this strong stewardship and through our commitments, we will deliver on the American promise and our mission to transform lives through education. Thank you all for your attendance today.